What is good, y'all? SCG Game, man. It's your boy SmooveGotGame back with the Pirates Rebuild series, man. I did not forget about this series. I know we got a lot of college football coming up, but we're going to be intermingling these two series together till we get one or the other finished up. And here today, I got some pretty sad and shocking news. I wanted to load up this series, and it brought me all the way back to spring training. And when I tried to load my original file, it says the data is corrupted, so I cannot get into where it has us at May 7th. Unfortunately, I have to go all the way back to my March save, and that puts us right here at the end of spring training. So I have to basically kind of get us back to the point where we just ended at, which, you know, after advancing forward, I put the roster back to normal how it was, kind of reset the lineups to how we wanted them or how we had them to kind of start the season so we can get a similar beginning. But that was really weird to me. I've never had an issue with my files corrupting, so now I'll make sure to at least have two backups at the same date at the same time, and then maybe like a third one kind of a little bit farther back just in case, so that way nothing gets kind of glitched out like this again. But we go ahead and put everything kind of back to normal, which I guess is kind of a good reset and bad reset. I mean, if you guys want to see what happened those first 11 games, make sure you guys check out last episode. But now we have to all of a sudden pivot and see what kind of ending we end up having here. And after simulating forward to get right back to where we were, we actually are at a 12-10 record now, which, even though I said May 7th, we did play 22 games in the last episode, so we were 11-11. Now we're 12-10, so just kind of one game better than before. But the Cardinals are really taking off here in this time around, 4.5 games above us, but we're able to scout the same exact way. Have a little bit different outlook here on stats. You see Garrett Mitchell, Pete Alonso, Tamar Johnson all on cold streaks. If you guys remember, Tamar Johnson was actually killing the game the last time, so it's kind of sad that I'm seeing it like end up like this. We go ahead and put Pete Crow into the starting lineup. Go into Brian Reynolds having a strong season. Alonso's average is just down, but 2 home runs isn't bad. Alonso or Anthony Santander with 6, Julian Cortez with 5 and 15 RBIs, batting 290. Or Neo Cruz actually hitting over 300, which is great. Cabrian Hayes 284, and then Henry Davis 367, 5 home runs at the 9 spot is good. Our bench is looking kind of Herbert Bills hasn't played any time, but we do have a new injury to talk about this time. As you see, Yohan Oviedo into the starting rotation. Tariq Scoot Ball actually ends up getting hurt, as well as Paul Skeens having a cold start to the season, ERA above 5. But Tariq Scoot Ball is hurt for the season. He had a head fracture in one of the games, so he's going to be basically the entire season. Before he dropped out, he was at a 2.14 ERA, was having a tremendous season. But now we've got to all of a sudden look for probably a more permanent solution over to our bullpen, or at least our starting rotation. And somebody I'm looking at is Aiden Tatsuki, 19 years old, is already up to a 72 overall, but has a 1.75 ERA in the short amount of span that he's had at AAA already. There's also Xander Muth, who's at a 2.7, James Espinoza, who's at a 1.8. No, overalls are kind of low for those guys, so we'll have to wait, see how the season kind of plays out, and see if we even need to bring somebody up. But those are our options, as well as Jordan Hicks too, who is down at AAA. So we'll go ahead and continue forward now from here. Moving things right along as we have a series against the Atlanta Braves. We're going to hop into a critical situation here with Henry Davis coming up in the bottom of the 8th. And we're looking for a chance here to obviously get him his first hit of the game, but also try to come back in this game down 4-3 in front of our home fans. Now, as you can see, we're kind of sad with how things have gone. Well, we'd love to have Tariq Scoot Ball just be healthy and continue the way forward that he was, and get everything back to normal. But sometimes you got to pivot like this. We live and we learn. So we'll be going through this episode similar fashion, trying to get through a big portion of games, critical situations, player locks, to kind of get through the season a little bit faster. Now here we are in player lock mode with Henry Davis. So we struck out in the 8th, come back in the 9th, where we actually ends up tying the game thanks to Anthony Santander solo home run. And he's actually coming back up here for another bat. Bottom of the 9th. Runner at first with 2 outs here. Still, Devin Williams is playing a dangerous game with that screw curve. That thing was right down the middle. He comes right back with another one below the knees. We've got an 0-2 count here for Davis, swinging over the top with a 4-seamer. Not able to make contact at all. I think that's almost like 6 straight swings, and they all missed. We'll go here to the top of the 10th. Actually able to play out the rest of this game. I was able to switch it over to full control. We have the Rule 5 draft pickup here, Alex Vesia, trying to hold things down for us as we're looking to go to the bottom of the 10th with a chance to take this game over. But this is going to deep left to left field. That ball is going to get out of here. 2-run shot, Ronald Acuna Jr. his 6th of the season, and that'll be a 2-run lead there for the Braves late. Alex Veziek once again giving up the lead here. This has been honestly the problem that I've seen through the season, even the problem we were having through the first, the part A, you know what I'm saying, of the season. Our bullpen is just kind of giving up a lot of home runs here late in games and giving up ball games for us. Our starters are doing good. We're hitting good. It's just the bullpen is not securing these victories when we have a chance to win them. Now, thankfully, it looks like we're able to go ahead and calm Alex down here, get the next 2 outs easily. Then Austin Riley with an 0-1 count will watch that slider off the edge. We'll have to obviously keep eyes on him. I think if you keep him past a certain amount of time, because we did do this before with Nathan Church, the left fielder. We kept him up for a long enough time that when we did end up sitting him down, even though I thought I could send him back to his team, we ended up keeping him. So I don't know what the exact time frame is to keep him up here. But we'll have to see if he's in somebody that we end up having to move away from. That's Pete Crow Armstrong leading off here in the 10th. That's a beautiful screw curve upstairs. I'm so mad he wasn't able to make contact, but he gets a full count screw curve. And he swings way too early for it. He's going to go sit down. Then David Schneider right behind him pops his cutter out to center field. Going deep back. Are we going to try to move up? We will not. Henry Davis, 72 speed, will not be able to get over there in time. And lead things up to Garrett Mitchell. Outfielders parade here at 1, 2, and 3. But with the 2-1, pops this one up. Back behind left third base. And that'll be caught over by the seats. And the Braves will walk out of here victorious. Walk-off 2-run home run there in the 10th inning by Ronald Acuna Jr. And they're able to go ahead and take down the Pirates here. They're still a very, very good team in the Braves. But they're able to go ahead and take us down here today. Not much that we could do. We had 9 hits as a squad, but couldn't chain together any more runs. But you got to really put this one on the bullpen. I mean, we should have been able to close it out. Paul Skeens is the one that gave it the 4 in the first place, though, to put us in that position. Now, the next day out, we ended up in a similar situation here. Bottom of the 9th, down 5-4. So down by 1 run again. This time just a little inning later. Anthony Santander, the hero of yesterday's game, to at least extend us to overtime. Chops one on the ground here at second. And gets the double play that effectively kills our rally here in the 9th. 4-6-3 is able to be done. Tamar Johnson, who does have a solo home run today, we could use another one. As that was, of course, even though it was timed up well, just on top of it a little bit, chopped into the ground of second base. And Tamar Johnson gets a cutter right at the belt. Lines it towards the seats. Devin Williams trying to come in and close yet another game. Throwing that same screw curve. Screw curve or sweeping curve? I think it's a screw curve. It kind of has a weird movement to it where it runs away from the hitter instead of towards them. Just like that four-seamer was running away from our bat. Strikeout number 3. They're able to walk out of here winning the first 2 of the series. Jose Leclerc ended up getting the L here for this game. 6 hits as a squad. We got to do a little bit better than that. I'm seeing only 1 hits all the way around. Pete Alonso once again having an 0 for day. And Leclerc gave up 2 earned runs late. Once again, the bullpen kind of letting us down. As Jared Jones could have got us that dub, but unfortunately, wasn't enough. And then in Game 3, we end up winning 4-1. Game 4, this is a 4-game series. We're trying to tie it up here. And Alexis Santos, rookie, trying to go ahead and close this one out for us. We put him in the closer role. Coming straight out of AAA, and it looks like he's thriving here a little bit. That's on a pop fly out to Reynolds that will go ahead and glove this in for out number 2. No heroics this time from Ronald Acuna Jr. out there to the same spot, though. As now it'll be up to Matt Olson. 2 outs, 1-2 counts. He is the tying run. And that'll be fouled. Get him down low. Look at the check swing. They're going to go ahead and call it as a full swing. And the Pirates tie up the series with the Braves here, 2-2, as I knew we would. You know, we got to just pitch around our bad starter, which right now is Paul. Pitch around our bullpen, giving up runs late, and just kind of score more. You see it today, they took 14 hits and 8 runs, and we still barely squeezed across the win as they went almost a perfect 7 for 7. 7 hits, 7 runs. Shout out to Santander getting his 8th home run of the season. Cortez right behind him with 7, up to 19 RBIs as well. Yohan Oviedo, terrible start, 5 innings, 6 earned. Got to look for somebody to help out with that role. Now here at scouting, this is the first time we're going to show it here this time around because we did the same exact stuff that we did last time. See here, Hank Friedenberg, 77%, looking like a decent 15 overall prospect. I think we can get him later with maybe like an overall looking at his area to get that last 15%. So I can switch that out for another right fielder, Avery Roberts here. 30th on the board, 28th on the MLB board. We're drafting a lot lower back this year because we went so deep in the playoffs last time that we kind of can't afford to do anybody high. Now, of course, coming out of that scouting, though, we do end up losing the next series 2-1. And doing a quick stat check here, looks like Jones and Paul are both on cold streaks right now. So we're looking down at AAA, just kind of keeping these guys on noticing if overall start going up. See Xander's at a 73 with C potential. Aiden's at 72 with B potential. James is 69, which I believe would be potential too as well. So we have some people there. Jordan Hicks is just having a cold start. Otherwise, we probably would have already brought him up. But it leads us to a series here against the Diamondbacks where you can see we are up 7-0. They want Haynes to hit his third home run. I'm going to say he didn't because the score is like 9-0, but we at least walk out with a victory. Leading us into game number 2 here, which we do have a storyline that I want to track. And that's what I'm going to try to do more so with these player locks, kind of like have a storyline reason while we're looking at some of these guys. And the storyline reason here is Pete Crow Armstrong. Traded for him from the Cubs in, I think, year 1. I don't think it was year 2. Yeah, it was year 1. One of the very first trades that we made that I thought would really help boost his team. His speed is great. He's a great defender. But one thing that we have not seen yet is a consistent bat. Even if he was hitting 260, 270, we would take that, but he's always been around 230, 220. And here this season actually started out decently cold, but he's been on fire here recently. Now, 230 you would think is kind of crazy for on fire, but that's about the most we've been able to kind of get out of him here in these series. Now we got bases loaded here, though. A great 3-0 count to get us going. Rodriguez just lays a 4-seamer belt high and gets away with it. Comes right back upstairs. We wanted to just go ahead and look at that. Nothing we could do with it. And forced to swing on the next one. That's going to be popped up. And right at the catcher, no runs. So able to get out of that without getting anything across. But we are up 2-0 here. And if we could just get his bat to go. His defense is really good, and I love the 99 speed. Just the fact that he's barely on base, I'm barely able to use it. It's sad that he's got 99 speed and has not led this team in stolen bases. It's because he barely gets on with base hits. We've had to move him to the bench, move him. I don't think I've had to move him all the way down to like the minors or anything, but move him from his leadoff role where I would like him to be hitting at with all that speed. It would be great to start out the game with that much speed going down the base pass, but here, he's only 1 for 4 on today. We would love a 2-hit day as they have tied the game back up 2-2. Slade in the pitch for them now as he gets a ball over the middle of the plate, bloops it out to left field for a base hit, and that'll at least move the runner up 90 feet. Now we got runners at first and second here. For the rest of the lineup, Brian Reynolds trying to be clutch like he has this season, but not this time around. That's popped out to right for the easy play. Still bottom of the 8th. No outs yet as this one's going to be going to get gloved in here by Pete. Going to try to make this throw over to third base. Show off the defensive arm here as that throw will be a little bit behind the defender or the runner. There's a Cortez Jr. getting that shutout yesterday against the D-backs. Here today, the Diamondbacks get their revenge. A 2 RBI single there by Rivers in the 8th inning, bottom of the 8th, to go ahead and give them this dub. Santander getting his 10th home run. They're both at 20 RBIs, being Santander and Cortez. But Alex Vesia, once again, blowing it late for us. 2 outs, 2 earned runs. And we come back the next day, following up on somebody that was hot with somebody that is cold. As Pete Alonso, I don't know what else to say about this man. I mean, the average is kind of low. The home runs is good. The RBIs is good. But now this year, the home runs and RBIs are both low for him. So I don't know how much longer we're going to have him. You see, we've dropped him in the batting orders. That's going to be a base hit that gets down the line. We've dropped him in the batting order to 6 because Santander, Cortez, and O'Neill are looking like our 3 best hitters right now, both in power, RBI, and average categories. I wouldn't say they're all top 3 in average, but they're all hitting better than Pete is. So for right now, he'll be dropped down to the 6th spot where O'Neill was. And we'll see if that inspires him and lights a fire under him to get his bat back in order, as we haven't even been able to hit well with him either when I'm controlling him. No homers, no extra base hits, nothing. Now, the one thing that he does have going for him is his glove. Bottom of the 6th here, you see a little chopper on the ground. Look at him wheel this up, spin around, toss it over, get back to cover first base, 3-6-3. Easy work there. We are down 1-0 though. As we go to the top of the ninth, still getting shut out. It's 3-0 now. David Bednar still in the game now, taking over. Starter must have got tired, didn't want to go for the complete game shutout. I understand, especially against power hitters like we have. Games can change in a quick instant here. You see down below, the Diamondbacks are only half a game behind the Dodgers too. So this team is no laughing matter. They're not weak. They've rebuilt themselves very nicely and are fighting for that lead in the NL West. It looks like they might have a chance to get a little bit closer here as they get the strikeout they need. Win the series off here, 2-1. Dustin May gets the L, 7 innings, only 1 earned, but no offense today. You see the only hits we had, 7, and 5 of them came by David Smith. So looking back here at our scouting, Avery Roberts, not looking like such a good prospect, so we'll probably keep ignoring that and keep moving forward. The Yankees, we end up sweeping us 3 games, but we sweep the Dodgers, who are 21-17 after the sweeping. But we end up sweeping them in 3 games, winning one of them here 10-6. 12 hits as an offense. O'Neal with 4 hits, 7 RBIs. It's crazy. 2 home runs throughout this game. 3 hits for Pete Crow Armstrong. And after seeing a game like this, I do want to make a hit in our bench and move up. Patrick Robert, who's been hitting 300 down at AAA, had a great spring. We only sent him down because everybody else was hitting good. But Lee Oliver Peguero has been struggling. Now, thankfully, because the injury to Tariq Skubal and I've been brought up a pitcher, I don't have to move anybody else down. But we will go to make that move to go up. Avery Roberts is looking like a bust here, very prospect here. Not too excited about him. Overall, going to start low. Maybe B potential as an outfielder. We're going to kind of get rid of that and look to see if we have any other strengths and weaknesses here. As you can see, our right fielders, we've been scouting them pretty heavily. Got a couple of good options here that we might be able to look at. Brian Meadows, Marco Vasquez. But we still need to find other options at other positions possibly here, like center field. There's a Jason Yamamoto, left field, Raymond Harden. Like, we can move these guys into right field. The ultimate goal is to get somebody that can play right field. But I'm looking at Raymond Harden here. 3rd on the overall board, 6th on our board, 6th on the overall board. See if he's somebody that can move across and over, because you know the position players start to fall as the pitchers go. Now, as we jump back into simulation here to keep things moving forward, Rockies end up taking the series against us 1-2. The Dodgers sweep us on the road, or I guess at home. So we swept them at home. They swept us at their home. So a complete opposite flip-flop there. I guess more of what you would expect. But right before we take 3 or 4 against the Giants before our next scouting week. So this team is very up and down, hot and cold. Raymond Harden ends up being looking like a bust here, so we're going to go ahead and get him up off the screen as we're able to actually 100% him in one go, which is actually pretty nice. And then continue to keep looking. We also have shortstops and some areas of positions that we can look at too. You know, if these outfielders aren't pulling it off for us. But we do have a couple more options here. Roberto Sanchez looks like he could have a decent overall. Vincent Chen would be a good mid-round or mid-pick prospect in the 50s. So we can start to look at some two dudes like that while we start finishing up our right fielders and relief pitchers. And go ahead and actually switch those 2 locations to the east. We finished up the international, so we're going to finally get the eastern area taken care of. We end up finishing the sweep against the Giants in 4. Come back and win against the Diamondbacks 2 as well for a 5-game winning streak to keep things just moving along. Now the team is starting to hit and pitch well. I think that was the 6th one I just saw. Before we come here to game 3, lose 5-3. Not much we can do on that. But a nice little 6-game winning streak. We'll take that. Gets the record back above 500, 27-25. 2 more wins against the Giants before another scouting week. Gets us well above 500. And Roberto Sanchez is looking like a strong prospect. He's up to 16 on our board. Good contact guy, good vision, good speed, and the defense is average. So maybe more of a left fielder for sure. We'll have to look and see. I did want to look at some shortstops, and I actually will tell you guys now, very unimpressed with the shortstop class. A lot of them are, 50 and up ranks on our board. And a lot of them are defense only kind of guys, a little bit of contact here and there. But I know shortstop is a defensive built position, but I need somebody that can hit there. If they're going to take over for O'Neal Cruz, I need you to be able to at least contact or power one of them. So I started looking at third base to see if there's any of these guys that can play shortstop as a secondary position. I'm loving Andres Alvarez here and what he can do. I'm also loving Kurt Goldman as a potential option there. So we're going to look at third baseman internationally because it's where I liked most of our third basemen. While we go ahead and look at Kurt at shortstop. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the game 3 here as we are up 2-0 in this series against the Giants. We're owning them this season. We already won the first one 4-0 sweep. We're going for a 3-0 sweep here as we've only given up 3 earned runs in this series. And we're going to player lock against one of our best hitters this season, both in the average and home run departments and RBI departments. our new number 3 hitter, Anthony Santander, who is 1 home run away from career home run number 100. Or no, I think that was Robbie Wade's 100 win. I was about to say, ain't no way Santander is almost at 100 home runs. That man is probably way past that by now. I'd say he's probably closing in on 300 if I had to guess. But yeah, we want to go ahead and focus in on him. He's been great as far as getting RBIs in. He's been hitting for good power. Average is high on both ends, right and left, because he is a switch hitter. He's been holding down right field for us, making his contract worth it. For sure. What is this? It is 7-0 here in the 4th inning. I bet I can guess who's starting. I'm going to go ahead and say it's Paul Skeens that got the start here today. It's 9-0 now in the 6th inning. I bet you our bullpen, we probably put in Alex Vesia, and we probably put in who else would I guess would give up a lot of runs? Lucas Sims probably came in. He has his random games where he wants to give up a lot. So if I had to guess, it's those 2 people that came in to back him up too. A little chop on the ground at third base. Not much Santander could do at this point anyway. Even if he's hitting home runs, we are down 9. Now it's 12-1. Goodness, the Giants are not playing. They got really mad that we won the first 6 games, and they took out all their runs and frustrations here in this last game. Which I mean, they're not in our division, so this could be the last time we face them all season. This is already the 7th game. I know division games is mostly like around 15, 13 or something. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last time that we see them. Now, we do end up getting an extra base hit here in the 8th inning to let Santander not go hitless. Getting a nice little double here down the left field line. Can we at least bring him around to get on our 2nd run? O'Neal Cruz, 0 for 3, swings and misses at that, and he will go sit down as well. And we already knew there's no surprise. Robbie Ray actually getting a career win number 100. Oh, it's Jared Jones that came in and allowed this massacre to happen. He does have his inconsistency sometimes. Pete Alonso getting a 4-hit day, though. That's surprising. So we go to drop things down here. Jones, 7 earned runs at 3 2/3. That ERA is up near 5 now. It was Matt Strom that came in, but I told you Alex Vesia was going to be part of this. 3 earned and 1 in the 3rd innings. 4 hits given up. Matt Strom, 7 hits given up. I think that said 20 as a team. Oh, my goodness. Quick little stat update here. Julian Cortez leading the team in runs with 27, or actually second with 27. Brian Reynolds leading with 28. Of course, all the RBIs are coming from Cortez and Santander, so I'd imagine so. Cortez leading us in hits, though, with 61. 12 home runs, 33 RBIs. Santander leading with 14 home runs, 28 RBIs. O'Neal and Reynolds both with 11 home runs, finishing up the last of our double digits. Cruz with 40 RBIs leads the team. Patrick Robertson's being up here is batting .429, but Henry Davis is over 300. Cruz is over 300. And a 375 on base. 287 by Santander. 285 by Reynolds. Davis Schneider, 283. Cortez, 279. We have a lot of guys hitting over 270. Even Hayes at 267. I'll take that. So I might have to look at ways to reorder this, even though 4 of those people are all in the outfield. I might have to find a way to kind of move some things around. We're not striking out a whole lot. It doesn't look like, kind of a couple guys here and there at the 40 levels, and then 10 doubles, 12 doubles. So we got good extra base hit numbers. The errors, O'Neal Cruz is at 9 on the season, which is pretty high for only a month in. I would love to see that number a little bit lower, but at least everybody else is kind of chilling out though. Everybody's combined doesn't equal to that 9, so that's good. Davis is leading the way with a 2.6 WAR. Reynolds 1.9, Cruz 1.5, Hayes 1.2, and Santander 1.1 somehow. Looking at our pitchers, saves, Alexis Santos has 11 saves, only 2 blown. Great job for the rookie. 1.56 ERA, 1.15 whip, and 17 in the 3rd innings of work. Jose Leclerc, 22 Ks though. Has not been doing too bad in his short innings of work. Paul's up to 73 Ks, closing in on 100 already. ERAs, Nestor Cortez is at a 1.79 and a .97 whip as a starter with 70 innings of work. He is locked in this season finally. Tariq would have been great to have to add to this rotation. Dustin Mays even already producing good, working up to his contract. 9 quality starts out of 10 for Cortez, 7 of 11 for May, 5 of 7 for Johan, and then Jared Jones and Paul both kind of shit in the bed. And then Tariq Skubal is doing good. So yeah, Tariq would be great to have back to let Paul or Jared Jones go to the bench. It's the home runs kind of being given up. Both are in double digits. Both WARs are pretty low. 1.7 by Nestor Cortez is leading the way for our pitchers. K per 9s, or walk per 9s, home runs per 9s, what we really want to see. 2.8 by Matt, Alex 2.3, and Jonathan 2. We're giving up way too many home runs by our pitchers. But if you guys actually look at our team numbers, we're 5th in average, 4th in home runs. You're at the top in most of your hitting categories, pitching wise. and defense, because you also got to check your defense and see where our errors are. Fielding percentage, we actually aren't near the bottom this year. We're at 13th, which is about middle of the way through. ERA, I would have thought we were at the bottom with how poorly we're performing. We're actually in the top 10 at number 8. So there's a lot of things that ain't making sense. Our win percentage, I don't know how we're not doing better than we are. We're not even doing that bad in this category. We're 13th, but that's led us to be behind the Reds, Cardinals, I think the Brewers too. I think we're literally in 4th place in our division. So we're gonna focus on our division games a lot to see if we can catch back up. Only 2 games above 500 despite being top 10 in almost every major hitting and pitching category. We're just getting unlucky on the games that we're losing and very lucky, I guess, on the games that we're winning. So if you guys are ready for more of this series, keep hitting the like button and it will keep returning. We are going to keep going either until the next MLB show drops or until we get a World Series ring. One of those two is going to happen. We do have college football gameplay coming up, of course. We will be moving into Madden once I finish my player lock. And if you guys want to see a Dynasty rebuild, I can still do one, but just let me know that you guys want to see it, either in the comments down below, DMs, all that type of stuff. Let me know that you guys want to see it, and I'll bring it back. Otherwise, it'll just be a Madden rebuild after we finish probably like a season or 2 of importing over Gen Smooth. So, love you guys so much. Thank you guys for all the love and support on the series. It'll keep coming back to you guys. Hit a like, comment, subscribe on your way out. And this is your boy SGG, aka the King Games, aka SmooveGotGame, aka the best GM on the tube. And I'll catch you guys in the next video, man. I'm out for the day. Later.